Hello heroes, 4Kate here, and I've been lapping up every bit of new info about Spider-Man Far From Home like a Pavlovian dog, and I have a specific interest in Mysterio. He's one of the great Ditko character designs and a personal favorite of mine. That design to me represents so much of what comics are about. The strange, the quirky, the weird. So when they revealed the costume online, I started working on a video analyzing and comparing the costume to the original Steve Ditko design. It was while I was looking at the new breastplate that was added to the film version of the costume. It had a bit of a Chitauri feel, which made sense because a lot of the peripheral characters in MCU movies have gotten technology that they use against superheroes or for crimes from the Chitauri event, from the Battle of New York, from the original Avengers movie. And as I was comparing the breastplate to the Chitauri armor from that Avengers movie, I noticed it had some unique accenting that was interesting. These diamond-shaped icons that go down the rib cage have a similar look and feel to the cloak pins that hold Mysterio's cape. The cloak pins evoke an iconic design. They're based off of imagery from Christian iconography, the Eye of Providence. It's meant to symbolize God's gaze upon you. Some of our more astute viewers might recognize the Eye of Providence from something that's in their wallet right now. And as I worked on my video analyzing Mysterio's costume, I had that image of Jake Gyllenhaal in costume up on my screen for hours at a time. And I kept staring at and focusing on those eye icons down his rib cage and how it's just a pattern of these icons, these motifs of the Eye of Providence. And it was then when I realized I've seen this before. In fact, I've actually seen this on Mysterio before, but it goes all the way back to a cartoon over 2 decades old, Spider-Man, the animated series. The first season of the series was basically a tour of Spider-Man's rogues gallery with all of the classic villains getting an episode. But with Mysterio, it was a bit of an update for the character. Mysterio's original appearances in early Spider-Man comics, he primarily used practical effects, costumes and animatronics and puppetry with smoke effects and sometimes hallucinogenic drugs to maintain his illusions. Of course, that was in the 60s, and over the years as time progressed and technology progressed, holograms were at some point added to his arsenal. But for the cartoon, it was a revamp. Holograms were the primary weapon of his illusion. And in the cartoon world, he facilitated that by using small hologram projection units that he hid in strategic locations. And further, he had hologram projection units built directly into his costume to give him projection ability wherever he goes from all directions. These little eyeball things, each of these is a hologram projection unit. So could these eye icons on Jake Gyllenhaal's breastplate be hologram projection units? Well, who knows, but what made me really start to think it could be true was in the second trailer when Jake Gyllenhaal battled the water elemental. And here's where it may get into spoilers. When I looked at that scene, I noticed that those eye icons were also embedded into Mysterio's cape. And I thought, why is that? That looks kind of stupid, I thought, just personally. But I was wondering why that would be. And it wasn't until I started remembering this, the hologram projection unit approach that they took in Spider-Man the Animated Series, and suddenly it made sense. That is just more 360-degree coverage, especially what you would need for the types of fakery that he would be pulling off. I'd love to see you back here on Hero Journalism.